Hey everybody, this is Michael. It's May 18th, 2023, and it's about 10 in the afternoon. And this is one of my friends I just met. What's your name?
James.
James. So James, where are you from, James?
Mount Eagle Mountain, Tennessee.
Mount Eagle Mountain. All right. So I've gotten to know James for a little bit, and we were just chatting about life. Both of us, we're in transition, and we're just trying to figure out life and go through this whole journey of existence. And so James, what are your feelings about spirituality?
Spirituality to me comes from the heart. It's not your mind. It's not anything anybody else can tell you. You got to do it yourself. All these people go around talking religious, this, that, and the other, but talk's cheap. If you ain't got it in your heart, then it ain't gonna work to begin with.
It's funny you say that. Because my mother, she passed away. They say passed away. I like to use the word transition. She transitioned from this existence almost 10 years ago, right? Okay? Around this same time in the month of May, right? A few weeks ago, right? And so when I went on my 13-day fast I was telling you about earlier, part of that was to honor her, right? One thing she always said to me was, it's what's in your heart. Right? So she didn't get into all the scripture. She didn't get into all of that. She said at the end of the day, because she came up from around here, country roots, right? What is real, not what's fake and all this. She said it's what's in your heart. And
that's it.
And when you try to talk to people, they try to say all kinds of things, but what are they really about? I mean, what you feel about that?
The way I feel of something like that is words cheap. Your heart's true. If you can't speak from the heart, then don't talk to me.
That's right.
Because you can tell me one thing. This man or lady will tell you something else from a different church, that, the other. You got to do this, you got to do that. No, it's here.
That's right.
What you got to do.
That's right.
If you can't speak your heart, then why open your mouth?
That's right.
On religious, spiritual, or anything. Why? If you're not going to be true to your heart, then everything else is a lie.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, what is the thing that you look at every day that allows you to tap in and live your truth?
Right there. Man upstairs. I thank him every morning when I wake up, and every night I thank him again to keep me above dirt.
Tell me about your day. How does your day typically start?
Well, from where I'm at, I go to McDonald's. They know me well enough up there. They give me a cup of coffee and a sausage and biscuit because I'm homeless.
Right.
They let me have both of them for $1 if I got it. If not, they give it to me. Because they know I'm be back in the morning. If I got money, I'll take care of it. But there is some good-hearted people here in Jackson. Then there's some raunchy people here in Jackson. The young generation it ain't like it was when you and I was growing up. Respect. Do what you can to make $1 and help your family, your mom and dad, if they're struggling. It's not like that no more. All they want is to get out here, either do drugs, sell drugs, and benefit themselves. It's no benefit to nobody else.
Where do you think it changed? Why did it change?
Why it changed? We'll go all the way back in the early 60s. That's when it started. The hippie days, they call it. Woodstock and all that. That's when it started. And it just got worse and worse and worse every year. I'm 65. And I still believe in the old way of life. Like that little man in there just come in, a little kid.
That's right.
He offered me a dime. It's not keep it. $1 you give me, I give it to him.
That's right. It's better to give than to receive.
Right.
That's right.
And that might make an impression on that young man when he starts to get older, if he remembers it.
You have to set an example.
Right. If you ain't got a sample in your life, somebody to lend a helping hand once in a while, what's life worth? You know, there's people out here worse off than me.
You and me both, yes.
You know, and you know, I'll help what I can, but I'm not gonna cut my own throat.
That's right. You know, you have to have a balance in life.
Right.
You got to survive, like we're talking about
Right.
survival earlier, right? But at the same time, you got to do what you have to do.
Right. And if I can lend a helping hand, I don't care what color you are, what nationality you are. If I can offer a handshake and get a lady to smile once in a while,
Yes.
that means right here to me.
That's right.
Because that's the way I was raised. I don't get better stop. If I ever catch a man hitting a woman, they got drama
That's right. You got to have honor. You have to have values
and respect.
and respect.
If you ain't got respect for yourself or anybody else, life ain't worth it.
I'm curious. Do you think respect is earned, or is it something you just give to everyone?
Both ways.
Both ways.
You got to earn respect and you got to give respect. When you was a kid, what'd your mom and daddy first tell you when you got old enough to understand? What'd they tell you? Respect the next person.
That's right. Respect your elders.
That's number one. But they was your elders back in, right?
That's right.
When you got old enough to understand what was going on, what did they say to you? You just said it.
That's right.
Respect your elders, respect the next person walking in front of you, and always make a lady smile.
Try to make the lady smile.
I
Got
don't,
some fly about you.
I don't try, I do.
That's right. I tell you. You got some play in you, man.
No, just the way I was raised.
Just the way you raised.
These ladies over here at Kroger run them cash registers.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, they got women running cash registers, doing this, that, and the other, waitresses and stuff. They do get people in there, if they ain't nothing but snobby.
And you know what's funny about that? You know, you're talking about, snobbery. It's right. It's like you're kind of disconnected when you're at that snobbery level, right?
No, money.
Money.
Because somewhere along the line, they got money. And that made them snobby.
Tell me about that.
Well, they look down your nose at somebody that ain't got what they got.
They compare themselves.
Right. Well, I've got a brand new car. He's pushing a button. You know, come on, get real. I wasn't always like this. It just happened. You know, I was up on my feet. I was making $63 an hour running heavy equipment. But it beat me down so bad now I can't even hardly walk.
Disability?
I got a disability. I got crippling arthritis in both knees and my lower back. I've had 2 heart attacks. I'm a diabetic. And I can't even get help to get my medication.
My feeling on some of that though, right, there's some elements that you've ran into that you just can't do anything about because of all of that heavy equipment exposure. But I do believe that diet, the way you eat, can transform your being.
But if you ain't got no place to prepare for that diet, what do you do?
Man, I done came up with some stuff that can help you out straight up. But like for example, I'll give you an example. If you can get $5 or $10, right? And I'm talking hard tax because I'm on a strict budget myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but I'm all into the non-GMO, the organic, and if we're talking about here on the street, how you keep that going and stay healthy, right? Where you're not absorbing all this vegetable oil, this unhealthy oil, this processed sugar, when you go to Kroger or you go to Walmart or somewhere like that, you can get one little, and this may not be a diet for you, but I'm just saying a recommendation. You get one of them like $2.50 pack of like lettuce, not lettuce, but like mixed greens.
Yeah.
Right? And then you get like one of them $3 or $5 packs of like avocado guacamole mix, right? You mix that together, you get a little salt on that, right? Okay? I promise you, not only will that taste good, but it will boost you up.
What I do, when I get my check, I go to Walmart on the bus. I get these stir fries.
Word.
And I put them out in the sun.
Ah, there you go. Because you know that sun is activating those vegetables.
It thaws them out.
It thaws them out.
Heats them up.
Right.
Because they're in heat bags, cook bags.
Yeah.
And that makes it good enough for me and my diet for my diabetes.
Bruh, that is actually pro-level recommendation you just dropped right there.
Right.
Yeah, so, because it's like, in the ancient days, a lot of foods, if they were going to be warmed up like that, they were warmed up by the sun.
Right.
Not everybody had a flint to light a fire on wood or anything like that.
I lay mine on the sidewalk where I'm at.
There you go.
Because concrete heats up quick.
Right.
In the sun.
That's right.
All right. It takes a couple hours to heat them up, thaw them out, heat them up. You know, and they got chicken in there, or beef, or whatever.
Yep, some of those packs do, yeah.
And I survived.
See, you just disclosed a very simple, basic way somebody can get through, and that's a healthy way to go about it.
Yeah. You don't have to have heat,
and
fire, and all that.
And you don't have to have McDonald's. You don't have to have Burger King, not necessarily. I mean, you might.
Now,
it might be okay, but
Crystal, up here on the corner.
Right.
I can go in there and get 6 Crystals and a fry and a large Coke and 2 big cups of ice.
That's right.
For $1.50.
Of course.
Because they know what the shape I am.
That's right.
Well, that's one meal.
That's one meal.
Then, when I get a chance to go to Walmart, I get me 3 or 4 stir fries. I lay out.
Awesome.
And that brings my diabetes back down to control.
Now, let me ask you about that though. All right, I got 2 questions for you. Number 1, how did you get to the point where you chose that to bring your diabetes under control? And number 2, how do you know it gets your diabetes under control?
Because once a week I go up to my primary doctor and he does blood work.
So it's not guesswork.
No.
You got a medical professional that says based on what you're doing, you're seeing some results.
He said, whatever you're doing, keep it up. And I told him how I'm keeping my diet going. He says, wow, I never thought of that. And I said, you're a doctor?
I know, I hear that so often, my friends, so often. But the thing is, like I said a few minutes ago, diet. That, from what I have researched, that's the number 1 thing. And none of this is medical advice, right? This is just us talking, right? But it's like, from all the stuff I researched, I spent hundreds of hours researching this, right? Because that's the kick. Like I said, I went on that fast. It was my 4th fast in 12 months, right? And after I did that first one 12 months ago this month, right? Okay, that one was 3 days. I did another one that was 3 days in December. I did a 5-day in February, and then I just finished 13-day. That first one that I did 12 months ago, when I ditched the processed sugar, I ditched the vegetable oil, and I ditched the regular bread, I was about 235 pounds. I'm now about 140 pounds. Healthy weight.
When I started my diabetic diet and stuff like that, what my doctor suggested, I was 240.
Tell me about it.
I'm 161 now.
See? Straight up.
And he says, this was 4 months ago. He said, what are you doing?
That's what's up.
He said, you're losing too much weight. I said, take my blood sugar.
And you're balancing your weight loss with protein.
Well, I drink unsweet tea.
There you go. Go ahead.
I drink green tea.
There you go.
As for energy,
That's
green
right.
tea.
And antioxidants.
I don't know a whole lot about that.
That's
part.
cool. But yeah.
I don't eat potatoes.
Oh, there you go, because that has high glycemic index.
And it's also got starch in it.
That's right.
I don't eat no noodles.
Good choice.
Because it's loaded with starch.
Carbohydrates.
Right. Now, every once in a while, I'll eat maybe a couple of spoons of mac and cheese.
Okay. You know, we got to indulge every once in a while. We don't have to be so strict.
Like today, on my way back over yonder, I'll get a small fry.
Yeah.
And it might take me all day to eat it.
But you said a small fry and all day to eat it, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're keeping your acrylamides very low.
Right.
Right? You're doing it right. See, sometimes when we go through this life journey, like you and I are going through, it helps us to make the type of transitions that we're not motivated to do under other circumstances.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to hold up too much of your time, man. Thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you.
It's time for me to put those clothes in the dryer and get going.
It's time for me to get over yonder.
That's right. We
There's shade over there.
Hey, just because, you know, we are in the circumstances we actually are sometimes more productive in these circumstances than we otherwise would be. You know what I'm saying?
That's like everybody's told me. How are you surviving?
Because you got a system that tells them they can't survive otherwise.
What is survival?
What is survival?
What is it?
And what is reality?
Reality is somebody doing something for you and happy.
Mm-hmm.
Survival, do it on your own.
That's right.
I'm from the mountain. I was raised in the woods.
A self-sufficient human being.
I used to take a pocket knife and kill a deer.
Mm-hmm.
Jump out of the tree and go to slow.
That's right.
You know, I brought something home for the family and me. I wasn't but 12, 13 years old.
And I may be on the vegan diet, but that doesn't bother me because you had to do what you thought was right in that situation.
That's right. And right now, I love to have pick up deer steak. I can cook it right there on the bench.
Right.
With a butane lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Rawer the better.
Hey man, I've seen some friends from Mexico.
Uh-huh.
They came here, right, and they'd be outside the hotel and they'd be camping out in front of their door with the butane and a little dish, and they just cook their food.
Yeah.
Ready to go. I mean, there's some things out here you can do that just makes things work.
Well, I use nature.
That's right.
That right there.
We're from nature.
We're from our mom and daddy.
That's right.
But actually, we're from the salt of the earth.
That's it.
But that right there,
Mm-hmm. That's the other part.
that's the main part in my life right now on my diets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's right.
people laugh at me. Well, you go up there, you eat all that greasy hamburgers and all this stuff at home, you bake chicken and you do pot roasts, but when you get through, look in the bottom.
Hey, check this out, homie. There are 8 billion people on the planet. Of those 8 billion people, less than 2 billion out of the 8 billion are trying to live this so-called civilized life. What does that mean? That means that there are 6 billion people that live the way that you're talking about. They live out in nature. They live much closer to the right way of eating, living, diet, and thinking, and harmonizing with each other.
If you live off like I do, that, and yeah, I look around for poke salad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Off the earth.
Yeah.
I got a little pot about this big and round. I sit out in the sun, get the water hot, put it in it. When it stops getting crispy, hey, you don't have to have boiling water.
That's right.
I'm from nature.
But yeah, man, it was good meeting you, my
Good
my
meeting
friend.
you.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right.